Happy Sunday fun day. I have not seen you guys forever. I have very little time today, but let's get into it. Cheers. It's been 3 weeks. Okay, you guys, my plan is to always try to do these every other week, and it just keeps blowing up in my face. I'm like, I will get to it next week, I promise. And then like some shit blows up in my face and I can't do it. Last night was Puerto Rican Fest. The night before, Puerto Rican Fest. I had helicopters over my fucking house. I had cops on the street, people getting arrested. It was wild. Couldn't park anywhere, couldn't get anywhere. All the fun things, right? City living, so. All right. June is my birth month. I'm gonna be 43 years old in like 2.5 weeks. I'm a Cancer, that's right. The brave crab. So I don't know what you all know about Cancers, but supposedly we're the most unhappy sign. So, right, we have that going for us. We do have some other traits, so look them up. They're very interesting and maybe a little wild. Right. But we are emotional as fuck. And we do have feelings, which some of the other signs tend to not have feelings at all, so. Most of the people I have PTSD from, they have no feelings, right? Hashtag sociopathic. So, right. Sunday fun day. Anyway, I went to my first yoga class in 9 years. It wasn't just like yoga. It was yoga sculpt with weights and cardio. I was fucking dying, okay? Why haven't I gone in 9 years? Because I literally have 3 jobs around my son's schedule and full-time mom. And then I have another job on the side as a PRN. So I have no fucking time. So I went today and I almost dropped dead. So, right. I see all these 20-year-olds with like a tight ass. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I just want to make it through. I just want to make it through and not die. It was crazy. I cannot move my ass right now. So just to put that out there. Do you hear the dog next door? The neighbors are a real trip. So those dogs are a real trip. They just love my cats. So anyway, I want to talk about a couple things because I got to go soon. So I'm going to make this quick, but I wanted to get on here and not be a little bitch and like record a video and get on here. So, why am I sweating? Could it be the weather? Could it be menopause? Could it be, I don't know, it's just fucking hot. Anyway, so there's a guy in my hometown. You guys know I'm from Worcester. I was born in Sandusky, but I'm from Worcester. I grew up in Worcester. And this guy has been sending me messages for like 10 years, okay? I'm just gonna read you a few of his messages because you guys it would blow your mind the amount of things I receive and what people say to me. So, it's funny because I like wake up on a Monday morning and it's like, can I fuck you behind the pet supplies in a motel? It's like, what? What is happening? So anyway, we're going to talk about him and that's part of the story. So he sends me all these love letters, weekly, monthly, all the things. I promise you I would give you the best fucked ever. So we're going to start with, today we have spell check, right? Apparently he's not familiar with it because he put the best fucked ever. See, this makes me question if you can actually deliver because you can't even spell it. How are you supposed to do it? Right. Then he went on to say, I've been wanting to make love to you since the first time I saw you at Pet Supplies. First of all, I was with my mom and our dog. I was probably, I don't even know, maybe 20? Like, this is like 25 years ago. I feel like Pet Supplies is not the most erotic place. There's like hamsters and like iguanas and shit. And he was like, ooh, I see a girl with her mom. I want to fuck her in the motel. Right. Like, that's wild to me. But he met me once, saw me, and he's been messaging me ever since. So I do appreciate the honesty. And I think, like, you have a lot of balls. And my other question is, do women actually go to the motel with you? Because the pictures you're sending me are not the best angle. You have to, like, put the camera up. How many times do I have to tell these men, put the camera up, please? I can't. It's just a bad way to wake up. You know what I mean? So anyway, at least you're not a dick. You do have that going for you. So thank you for that. I have then also had people say, will you marry me? And they've never met me. That's pretty wild. This is not like an arranged marriage. I feel like you might want to meet me because you might not want to marry me. So that could be, I'm a little challenging. You know, God forbid there's a woman that actually handles shit on her own and has her own opinion and doesn't conform. People don't like that very much, especially men. And it's crazy because that's why they initially are drawn to you. And then they're like, I don't like this anymore. Right. So that's why I'm single. And because I have 1 million jobs. And my first job is being a mom. And that's my priority. Anyway, on to the last thing because I gotta go. My hair is wild. We have a birthday party to go to today. So, as I'm getting older, we're going to call this segment Come in a Cup, okay? Come in a Cup. As I'm getting older, like, I rarely have sex. As you guys know, after my son was born, I went 3 years at one point. And then it's like occasionally, but there's no time to meet anybody. There's no time to date anybody. There's just no time. Men don't like when you're like, yeah, I can see you once every 3 months for 35 minutes. They don't think that's hot. So, right. Anyway, that's been my reality for a very long time. There is no time because I have to choose between paying the bills or having sex or paying the bills or, you know. So the relationship and romance part has been on the back burner. But anyway, I've had a couple times where I had some, you know, couple hours or some freedom or whatever. So I don't know if it's just like when I hit my 40s, but like my orgasms are out of fucking control. It's wild. I have not had many partners and I'm going to be 43, you know, in like 2.5 weeks. But I've not had many partners in like 7 years. A few, you know, because I'm a human being. So I always have to defend myself because there's always somebody out there talking shit. But they've had like 3 women in the same week. So it's okay if you're a man. Right. Okay. But anyway, so I don't know if it's like my age. I don't know what's happening, but I'm just like orgasming like wild. Okay. So there was a guy that I went on like 3 or 4 dates with, and I talked about him in my last rant. And he's a really nice guy, like all the things, like we knew each other. We talked on the phone for a year before we even went on a date. So it's not like we were like rushing anything. You know what I mean? So I had like a very small window one day, and it wasn't even about sex. We didn't even have sex, but there was like some fooling around. I had 20 orgasms standing up. I had my clothes on. I had a sundress on. 20. My cum went down my legs, into my shoe, and I just kept coming. Is that chemistry, or is it just that I'm horny, or is it just a relief? Like, what is that? But I really like this person and there is chemistry. You know what I mean? But I'm like, what in the actual fuck? And it was so much cum that I literally had to take my shoe off and I dumped it into a glass and it filled half a glass. So we're just going to call it the cup of cum. And I'm like, is that normal? Is that normal? So I was like, it's kind of hot and it's kind of not hot. But obviously that ended because I have no time to see him. And I was a little opinionated about specific things, and men don't like women to have opinions. or be like expressive or aggressive or state the facts sometimes because they don't like it. You know what they say, if you want to lose friends, just tell the truth, right? Anyway, I still care about this person a lot. We have not spoken. It didn't end bad or anything like that, but what? 20 orgasms come in a cup. So that is wild. I'm going to fill you guys in. I'm going to try to come back here every week and give you a week update because I am sick of not doing shit for myself and making people laugh. I love to make people laugh, and I love to normalize that things are wild right now. And we're all human. We have our own way of living, and it's okay to be yourself. You know what I mean? Have some fucking fun. We live one time and it's done, right? Come in a cup. I'll tell you what, I was just spraying everywhere. Everywhere. I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Ah! But I'm very like, our chemistry is a lot. The person before that, it was 15 times. What? What do you think?